Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. Thank you so much for joining us. My pal Kratos is here, and we've got a very special episode of EP Live, which is really a huge congratulations to our friends at Sony Santa Monica. We've covered their exploits for many years, and they've given us tons of great God of War games over the years, and we are so thankful to them and so happy for them for all of the incredible, great reviews that they're getting today for the God of War game, which comes out on April 20th, so that's next week. But let's get started. We've got a great rundown for you today. It's dedicated to VMW Industries. He says, hey, Vic, do you know that you have the best entertainment media show ever? And then he says, I FN love you. I don't know what FN stands for, but that's awesome. VWM Industries, this rundown is all yours. The hit online shooter Fortnite has just gone through a really rough night. Late on Wednesday, Epic Games surprised everyone by abruptly taking the Fortnite servers offline, preventing everyone in the world from playing it. Epic at first said that they needed to perform emergency maintenance, and this morning they clarified what was happening, saying that they had a critical failure with one of their account service databases, which prevented the login and matchmaking systems from working. They took the whole game offline in order to fix the problem, and thankfully it didn't take too long to find a solution, because just a few hours ago the servers began coming back online. Epic still hasn't said what caused the database failure in the first place, so it's unclear if this is just a routine technical problem or something more serious like an attack from hackers. And yeah, when you're that high profile, I did a recent search on YouTube to see what the trending gaming videos were, and almost all of them were Fortnite now, man. This game has taken over the world. So when you're that big, you're a huge target for people that want to do really shitty things. And, hopefully, hopefully they've got a lot of great security systems in place. I know they do. I mean, Epic has a lot of money coming in and has made tons of money over the great work that they've done over the years. But that game must be so attractive for scumbags out there. So hopefully they're doing a lot to protect it. I've played the game a little bit and have had a lot of fun with it, and it's a very cool experience. I'll talk more about Fortnite in a future episode. But yeah, a big bummer. Also an opportunity for other people that are working on Battle Royale games out there as well, though. When Fortnite goes down and then people go, well, what am I going to play? They're going to play something else out there. Yeah, but it sounds like everything is back up and running, and millions of new YouTube videos are being made about Fortnite as we speak. All right, a massive scandal is shaking up the world of competitive arcade gaming. Donkey Kong world champion Billy Mitchell, who starred in the 2007 documentary The King of Kong, has been stripped of his title after allegedly cheating to earn it in the first place. Mitchell was the first player in the world to score more than 1 million points in the game, but now, according to the arcade high score tracking company Twin Galaxies, Mitchell secretly earned that high score while using a Donkey Kong emulator and not an original arcade machine as required by the rules. This means that Billy Mitchell's King of Kong adversary, Steve Wiebe, is now officially the first person to break the 1 million point high score, and now would be a good time to make a King of Kong sequel. If you haven't seen that incredible documentary, King of Kong, do yourself a favor and find it and watch it. Billy Mitchell is quite a character. We've had him on EP. I've never interviewed him myself personally, at least I don't think I have. But he definitely comes off as an abrasive guy. He definitely comes off as a little bit sort of self-serving and boastful and prideful. I don't know if he's an asshole, but this sounds pretty crappy, and it does sound like karma if he was cheating and knowingly knew that he was breaking the rules to get this thing. And karma, if you were an awful person out there in the world, let me tell you, as someone who's lived a couple of years, karma does come back. And if that's what's happened, and it sounds like that is exactly what's happened, I think I just have to express my congratulations to Steve Wiebe, who was amazing in that King of Kong documentary. And Blake, who wrote this script, is absolutely right. We do need to see a sequel to this movie, and to catch up with Billy Mitchell and get him on record. Interesting. All right, well, we may have seen the last of Jason Bourne on the big screen, but that doesn't mean he can't sneak back onto the small screen. A TV series based on the Super Spy franchise is on the way. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the NBC Universal and their subsidiary, the USA Network, have ordered a pilot episode for a Bourne TV show, with Heroes creator Tim Kring serving as executive producer. The series will focus on the film's secretive Treadstone program, which created Jason Bourne and other super spies, although it's unclear if Bourne himself will appear. The most recent movie, 2016's Jason Bourne, underperformed at the box office. Boy, that was bad. Casting the future of the film franchise in doubt, but that doesn't mean it can't see a new life on television. No word yet on when the show might get premiere if it gets picked up. Now, this is a good idea on the surface, because the Jason Bourne movies have been pretty incredible. Doug Liman's is the best, for the record, and by the way, in my opinion anyways. That was the very first one. Doug Liman is such an underrated director. He also did Edge of Tomorrow and Swingers and Go. A really great, diverse lineup of titles out there. I think Mr. and Mrs. Smith is his as well. But he did a terrific job sort of creating the universe of Jason Bourne, and then there were good movies as well. I didn't mind the Jeremy Renner one either, but so much of it is kind of like a shadow or a reflection or a deja vu moment of stuff we saw in the very first movie over and over again, and that was exactly what was wrong with the last Jason Bourne movie. It just felt like parody. So if they do make this show, which I would be excited about, I like super spies, I like secret spy program ideas, you know. If they make it, they gotta go in a completely different direction. We need to know these characters as real individuals and as people, and we need to be surprised. That's the biggest thing. They can't just be beating up people with magazines. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see if this comes together. Now, Bungie has come up with a new way to bring players back to Destiny 2. They've announced that the game's second paid expansion, Warmind, will launch May 8th on all platforms, and they're making one big change this time around. You won't have to actually buy the DLC in order to have access to its new multiplayer maps. The maps will be available for everyone as part of the regular map rotation, which means players won't be separated between those who have the maps and those who don't. This is in direct response to the controversial reception of the last paid expansion, Curse of Osiris, which did force players to buy the DLC in order to access the maps, fragmenting the community. You'll still need to buy the new DLC to use the new maps in custom matches, and you'll also need to buy it in order to access the new story missions, weapons, and gear. Destiny 2 has seen several other problems since launch, notably complaints about a lack of gameplay variety and changes made to the progression system. Bungie plans to deliver more new content and fixes in the months ahead. Now, this is a fascinating story, what's happening with Destiny 2, because it's a terrific game. When I played the original sort of launch version of Destiny 2, I had a blast. I'm busy. I'm working on lots of different games and titles and reviews and other things that we do with the programming here. So I don't have time to just keep playing for hundreds and hundreds of hours. But a lot of people are invested in these games forever. They just play them for a long time. And that lack of diversity after the fact seems to be something that gets hammered again and again and again. It's so difficult to do end game content in a really satisfying way, and we've seen that with The Division, we've seen that with lots of MMOs, we've seen that with this title and its prequel and the original game. It's tough, and you know, we're going to talk about God of War like crazy today, but you play a game like that where it's like, well, that's a satisfying thing. I've beat it, and I feel good. That feels good, and you know that there's going to be DLC and some other material in there and some secrets and stuff to find. But I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel like the video game industry, with its pursuit of having these eternal products, is doing itself a bit of harm and a bit of disservice. Like, is this a good move for people that love Destiny to hate Destiny? You know? And this is the thing that Bungie is straddling with. Now, I am talking about millions of players and millions of dollars. This is a massive franchise, and Bungie and Activision know what they're doing with all of this stuff. But it hurts my heart a little bit to hear people hate on this game, because I know that the team have really worked their butts off to build something really lovely and fun. And I had a blast with it when I had time for it. So yeah, it breaks my heart that the people that are lifers and just want to play every night with their pals are starting to get a little bored with it or a little pissed off with the devs or whatever. But this stuff ain't easy. Endgame content ain't easy, and sometimes I wish that you know, we could kind of shift our focus from everything being games as service to being much more resolute on delivering games with endings, and terrific endings like the one that's in God of War, which I can't tell you about. I'm not going to spoil anything about it.